Desperate Housewives is a primetime television drama that ran from 2004 to 2012, and I have never seen a single episode of it. So today, as expected, I'll be trying to summarize the overarching plot of the show by only watching episode 14 of season 6 of Desperate Housewives, an episode I chose entirely at random. I'm doing this so hopefully by the end of this video you can consider yourself a Desperate Housewives expert. And don't worry, all the footage here is presented chronologically, so I'm not pulling any fancy editing tricks to make this more coherent. Let's get started. Desperate Housewives takes place during a bleak apocalyptic future where society lives in a sterile and harsh police state to maintain order.
Hey, Mrs. Kinski.
Look who's here. The garbage police.
This militaristic society was brought up in response to an ongoing planetary war.
So you don't care about our planet at all? By the time it's a problem, I'll be long gone. Let the cockroaches and the robots fight over it.
Our hero, Scarlett Longhair, and her husband, Butch Blueshirt, are undercover spies operating for the government, trying to win the war for humanity.
Of course I still care.
Yeah, fine, yeah, you can care. Just don't be blowing our cover.
Women in this war-torn culture are at the top of the food chain, where even the mere suggestion that a husband be the one to drive the family car is met with disgust and confusion.
Let him be in the driver's seat sometimes. Literally and figuratively.
Despite being a highly scrutinized matriarchy, sexual promiscuity has become rampant as a means to find unrestricted love within the oppression. Sex toys are some of the most highly collected possessions in the country, especially among the youth.
So they're by themselves, with the door shut. Just a couple of teenagers alone with their genitals.
Other means of expression have taken hold in unique ways under the regime's nose. Many men have taken to protesting by intentionally confining themselves to wheelchairs, expressing their crippled existence.
Larson.
I'll give you some time to adjust to this.
With all these factors in place, cuckolding has become the golden standard.
What's with the condoms?
Calm down, they're not for you.
Just what every man wants to hear from his wife.
Opposing cuckolding in this universe comes with very serious consequences.
I never would have been hit by that plane if I hadn't gotten in a fist fight with your lover.
Through all this, the hierarchy of government has regressed to an ancient Egyptian aesthetic and law system, where politicians gather regularly to hear royal decrees from their pharaoh.
Take in that kingdom and enfranchise that. Performed.
Or else we damn thee.
This all cuts back to more cuckolding practices in the world, as we see that sometimes the practice swings the other way, leading to potential power struggles.
I thought you made your aunt a promise.
I promised her I wouldn't have sex. I didn't promise you wouldn't.
Sports have been nearly eradicated by this point in the future, as evidenced by the physical ability of the survivors.
Angie, what the hell?
The previously mentioned garbage police take their jobs very seriously and often resort to intimidation. This clip here is often considered one of the most frightening in the entire show's history.
Come on, Mom, let's go.
Most couples choose to willingly join the corrupt government rather than face oppression, but don't always enjoy the roles they're assigned.
Of course, because I'm always the bad cop, he's always the good cop. Could you just once not be such a wuss?
Damn right I'm the good cop. Someone has to be.
Sexual violence is commonplace among the more aggressive males trying to break the cycle of cuckoldry, but to maintain the status quo, peace offerings are often presented.
So we catch her son on top of our niece and we have to apologize?
No, we have to apologize because you almost put our son's head through a wall.
And finally, each episode usually ends with someone having a stare down with someone else wearing a robe, because the punishment for disobeying authority is for an agent to confiscate your clothing. And that's the overarching plot of Desperate Housewives. Now you can tell your friends you've seen the entire thing, even if you haven't. See you later.